Yo, what up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Hero Brew. I'm Max. Joining me today again are Cameron and Austin. What up, boys?
What's up?
Howdy.
What's up? Did you guys see how that placement last time when I was like, Cameron's over here to my left, Austin is somewhere over here? It worked out pretty freaking great, dude. It was awesome. Today's episode is gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be just about Star Wars. It's gonna be about like what's our favorite movies, why Star Wars is kind of the way it is right now, like how we feel about it. And yeah, are you guys excited for this one?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Juice. It's going to be so much fun.
Let's go, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we just watched a little hype Star Wars video to get us prepared for this.
Yeah, it was a hype video, but I didn't realize it was going to make us cry towards the end of it. That's fine.
You guys did?
Yeah, dude, we told you to join the whole time.
I wasn't watching it. Did it have good music?
Oh yeah, dude.
Because music is one of the best parts about Star Wars.
Dude, the freaking light, everything lined up perfectly.
What the heck? That's perfect. Dope. Thanks for that. Yeah. I didn't even know you guys. You guys didn't notice I wasn't watching it or something?
We told you. I was like, Max, you see this? Max, look.
Something, dude. Whatever. But no, let's just start off. Today's episode, we're just going to start off with some agree or disagree questions.
What did you say? Agree or disagree?
Agree or disagree questions. Which we have some better tools at our disposal for the agree and disagree section. Shout out Mara. She made these for us. One of our followers on the YouTube. Go subscribe to Hero Brew Podcast. Appreciate you, Mara. These came out great. It has like it does have Star Wars stuff.
It's got some lightsabers.
Yeah, I got some lightsabers and our favorite Marvel characters. So yeah, pretty pumped about using these, guys. Thank you, Mara, again.
Thank you.
But yeah, you guys want to just get into it right now?
Let's do it.
All right. Here we go.
I'm ready.
All right. This is like a normal one, but I feel like we've discussed it before across, like, I wouldn't say like across the years, but across the vast majority of our Star Wars knowledge. The sequels were a step down from the prequels. Agree or disagree?
Overall.
Yeah, overall, like the sequels were a step down from the prequels.
Are we doing it all at the same time?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Wow, look at us.
Oh, who would have thought?
Agree.
Hence the green lightsaber.
It's like we
on
know
all
stuff.
of them.
Yeah, man, the sequels were just like, obviously when we talk about sequels, we're talking about 7, 8, and 9. We're not talking about like 4, 5, and 6. You know, I hope you guys didn't think about that.
No,
but
that's the original trilogy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. The sequels were not my favorite thing. Episode 7 was A New Hope remixed. Episode 8 was great. We could talk about that later. But episode 8, The Last Jedi, I thought was pretty dope. You didn't like it? Cameron, you didn't like it? You didn't like it?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I have a lot of complaints about that movie.
I feel like it was a good... I don't know. I feel like there were parts that I really enjoyed. It wasn't my favorite Star Wars movie, but...
Yeah, I get it.
It was an enjoyable film. I saw it in theaters, so I was like, this is pretty cool.
I get it.
I think The Force Awakens just started off so strong. Like, I saw that movie in theaters, I think, like 8 or 9 times. And I've got the same chills during
Wait, which one?
The Force Awakens.
Oh, The Force Awakens, episode 7. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
It started off so strong, and I was just so excited for what they were going to bring us. I got chills every time in the same part during the theater.
It was good. It was like a long time since we got the movie.
Yeah. Right. But no, episode 8, which I'm sure we'll get into it later, but there was just some things that I would change. I didn't enjoy. Probably the whole, what was it, Canto Bite, where Finn and Rose go on their little side quest to like the casino. Because you love that?
I love the side questing. All the side quests.
You liked that side quest, though.
It's the galaxy, dude. That's what's cool about it. I
loved it. It was just, it needed something fresh. I thought it was fresh. No. Okay. Ready for the next one?
Let's do it.
Rey is a better Jedi than Luke. Agree or disagree? You guys even let me count down, dude. All right. Yeah, disagree. Yeah, I'm not even gonna talk about that one. That was just. Yeah, she's cool. Don't get me wrong.
I'm not gonna talk about that one, so that's weird.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that one. But this one is good. The best lightsaber duel in the saga is Anakin versus Obi-Wan.
In the whole,
Yeah.
all of them.
Are we talking? Are we including TV shows?
Just say everything Star Wars.
Every Star Wars? Okay, everything Star Wars. The best lightsaber duel in the Star Wars universe that we've seen so far that's either played out in animation, in TV shows, or the movies. Oh, this is a good one. All right. In 3,
We're hesitant. We're all hesitant.
1.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, I was on the fence.
Yeah, there's a couple of other ones that I really enjoyed. I mean, I like Duel of Fates a lot. Like that's such a good fight
That's
scene.
the other one I was thinking of. Duel of Fates. I was
some good ones.
In the Acolyte.
Mm-hmm.
That scene was pretty dope.
They
when he
kinda-
just headbutts the lightsaber.
When he was killing all the evil, Jedi, when he was killing all the Jedi, I was like, this is probably the best Sith person we've seen fight
in a while
in Star Wars. I mean, I wouldn't say like I don't think, you know, to be honest, I think he solos everyone except for Anakin, Obi-Wan in a fight. I
could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Yoda's up there, but I don't think Yoda would have had a chance, dude. Just me. I forgot his name already, but rip to that show.
Yeah, it's done for.
That show's done for.
I think it was just good because they brought that style of super fast-paced lightsaber fighting.
It was
back.
Yeah, it was just
all loved.
Yeah, it was so like common. They were well trained and stuff, and we saw a little bit. We saw a little bit in The Last Jedi. Like they were faster in the Red Room scene.
Yeah, but then
it wasn't as fast and coordinated. Yeah,
Rise of Skywalker with
Rise of Skywalker,
whole Kylo Ren Rey on the, like when it's like raining outside
on the ship.
That was just awful.
Yeah,
awful. I didn't like it. I mean, I guess that kind of shows you like how important the training was.
Right.
And I'm trying to defend it, by the way. So it's like, it shows you like how important like having the Jedi Council there and like actually having time to like get trained and all this stuff. I mean, Kylo got trained by Luke, and Luke was pretty dope. I think Luke would have lost against that Sith dude. Just saying.
Whoa.
I'm not a Luke
Luke
laser.
are we talking about?
I'm talking about Mandalorian
Prime,
Luke.
No.
Master Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, Mandalorian Luke. Yeah, dude.
Hold on.
I don't think he would have stood a chance. I think people glaze him too much.
Disagree.
Guys, I didn't even count down, dude. All right. The original trilogy will always be the best no matter what. Which is like the OG trilogy, 4, 5, and 6. And 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I hate you guys. I hate you
Austin,
guys.
Why? Tell us why.
So what you're asking is the original trilogy will always be better than the other
Will always be better. Yeah.
It will always be better.
Mm-hmm. It will always be the best.
You guys disagree with that?
I don't think it will always be the best. I don't think it's the best, but like no matter what, dude, you got to realize like 4, 5, and 6. Like I have the posters in my room, but New Hope, great, right?
Yep.
Star Wars, right?
Right.
Great. Empire Strikes Back is probably one of the most, I think, best written Star Wars projects out there. I think it's just a really great movie. It could be overglazed a little bit. I think people automatically say that's going to be their number one, but I just think the writing's really good. Like the action scenes, like everything that kind of happens, the effects of everything.
Right.
I think that was all great. Return of the Jedi.
But wait, so you're saying those 3 movies aren't better than the other 2?
Like will always be the best. No, I don't think that it will always be the best. I'm a fan. I think episode 5 is great. Episode 4 is up there for me. Episode 6 I don't really care about. Like it's like I get it's a conclusion or was a conclusion, whatever. But overall, like I know the prequels get hate, whatever, but those are the Star Wars movies I grew up with. I went to go watch some midnight premieres to that, and I liked 4, 5, and 6. I think it brought the best, episode 1, 2, and 3. I think it brought the best action scenes. Obviously, you brought up the Duel of Fates. I think the music was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Gave us Natalie Portman's Padme Amidala, which I'm forever grateful for. I love her so much. It gave us Anakin. It showed really like how Anakin collapse and turn into Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you think that's like the best project, whatever, it's like, I don't want to say like, oh, this will always be the best, because then there's nothing to look forward to.
Right, because then you're not going to be able to.
It's like, oh, okay, it's not. Well, it's never going to be better than 4, 5, and 6.
Right. I think that with the original trilogy, for me, as someone that I think it's hard because I didn't get to experience the prequels, like all 3 of them in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
I love the prequels. Those are some of my favorite movies. I think Revenge of the Sith is my favorite movie. Well, we'll talk about that later, but that's, that's probably, if not my favorite Star Wars project, if, in general.
Yeah.
I think the overall storyline in the original trilogy is better than the prequel storyline. That's just my opinion. And I think that watching all of it again after in the same order, it gives me more of an appreciation for the original trilogy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just because with like the timing and like when it came out in the 70s, 80s, like that's insane to show like the storyline back in that time frame.
Yeah.
Alongside like, and I think that that's where the appreciation comes in. And maybe this is just me being biased because, growing up with parents and watching it with them, like that's their movies. You know what I mean? The prequels are like in our era for sure. And that's where I feel as if I have a great appreciation for the prequels, whereas like I don't know, it's really hard to explain because it is very close between the two. But I think that the overall story to me for the original trilogy is better. I think that there are a couple parts in like Phantom Menace and the Attack of the Clones that I just was like, yeah, that was good, but
trying to think,
it kind of was like in left field. But at the same time, I felt like throughout the whole original trilogy and watching that like again really gave me the appreciation for the storyline of like the unknown, even though we know what's going to happen. Like if you look at it from perspective like, oh, I've never seen this before, like it's a good story.
Okay, how about if I threw in the Clone Wars with episode 1, 2, and 3?
I think that would probably bring it over the top because it brings in like the animation aspect of it, and it also
fills in all the plot holes.
Right. And I think that that's where the trilogy, or the prequel movies, it kind of has that, like you said, plot holes. It feels kind of choppy without that, because the Clone Wars really do plug in the things that you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, that makes sense. But
yeah,
I wish
you kind of understood why Anakin made all those mistakes or decisions in episode 3.
I think that, I mean, in all honesty, if Revenge of the Sith was that 4-hour cut or however long it was supposed to be, like that would easily take it over the top for me. Because it's honestly hard picking the original trilogy just because I'm such a fan of the Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm. Cameron, do you have anything to add?
No, you guys kind of basically said it all. Like we all grew up with the prequels. Obviously, it's different times when the movies came out, early or like late 70s, early 80s. I'm not saying the writing's bad, but obviously with these newer things, you get probably more in depth to an actual story.
Yeah, like
so. Yeah, I just think to me, and obviously I've seen the original trilogy a ton of times, but if I'm gonna go rewatch a Star Wars movie, I'm always gonna go to the prequels.
Yeah,
it's just
I think it was,
to me. I think it's better.
I mean, the prequels also did have Across the Stars, so great song. Okay. Well, this one, you guys are all caught up on all the shows and all this stuff, right? For the most part.
Not Andor.
Not Andor? Okay. No Andor questions then. Easy. Mm-hmm. Ahsoka is the most important new character introduced since the prequels.
Is this still agree, disagree?
Agree or disagree?
Say the question one more time.
Ahsoka is the most important new character introduced since the prequels.
And you're saying excluding when she's in the Clone Wars, right?
I mean, that's her introduction. So it's but just in general, like, how does her character have the most effect so far? I think so since the prequels, because episode 4, 5, and 6 already came out, so we're not being like, oh, Luke or whatever, Han Solo or any of them, but like literally all the prequels, and then episode 7, 8, 9, 6, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we all agree. Yeah, Ahsoka's solid, dude. I think she's probably one of the better characters in all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, she's Anakin's only apprentice, so you kind of have to say she's important. Like she's carrying that legacy on.
And she's dope.
And she's sick. Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like that whole, especially in like the last season of the Clone Wars. Come on, dude. But okay, sick. The best soundtrack moment the best soundtrack moment is the Duel of the Fates. Agree or disagree?
That's really hard.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of good moments. I just figured that's like the most popular. Like you brought it up in the very beginning.
Yeah, but I'm like thinking of all the other ones right now, and it's like
it's down to 3 for me, I think. Oh no, bitch! Shoot.
I have my answer.
I think since I brought it up,
Okay, I'm gonna disagree, but I disagree because I have. Oh well, one, I do love that moment. I think that moment in Duel of Fates where it's like, like obviously if I'm mistaken, correct me, but it's like the Darth Maul fighting scene, right? Okay, yeah, that was dope because it kind of tied into like when he pressed the
double blade,
the double blade. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, like this is so
like
cool.
It drops right when he presses the button, and you're like,
I was like, this is dope.
Yeah.
Since me and Cam disagreed, though, I'm just gonna say that I think.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
I feel
like we all have like the same 3 that we're thinking about.
I don't know.
Yeah, you may have an interesting one, but
I know mine.
What's your number one? Yeah, let me hear it.
My number one's the score of Order 66.
Anakin's betrayal.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, I think it's Anakin's betrayal.
That's a good one. That's one of my top like 3, 4.
I would say that's my number one.
Shoot. Okay.
Because like I like how there's certain like it's not very fast paced.
Yeah.
It's just a mix of everything.
It's almost it's sad. I mean, it's like
feel the pain throughout.
Right when they were shooting Obi-Wan and the lizard down, I was like,
and the scream goes with it.
Like I was like, no. I was like, and it kind of lasted for a while, like throughout the whole. Obviously, you see all the Jedi getting executed,
right?
But, yeah, mine would have to be like Across the Stars from Episode 2. I've just always liked it. They played, I think, a couple different times. I think they played twice in the movie. They played obviously when they're on Tatooine, right? Tatooine. Oh my God, what is when they're in Italy? That spot. What was it?
Lake Naboo.
Is it? Naboo?
Yeah, it was in Naboo, right?
Lake Como, I think. No, not Como.
It's in real life.
I think it's called Lake Como. I might be wrong.
One of my friends just went there though. It was kind of fresh. They played during that, and I think they played when they're about to like go out to the stadium, whatever.
Oh, Attack of the Clones.
In Attack of the Clones, yeah.
And
then obviously Duel of Fates is up there, but it's at the end of episode 4 when the celebration music. Oh, dude, come on! That just like
that's the one from.
I think that's episode 4.
No, the one I just did was from the
episode 6
of Naboo in episode 1.
You're talking about when he's like
episode 4.
Yeah, the end of guys. Do we have to play it?
You're not talking about the one where they're in.
Not when he's staring at his dad.
Not at the end of Return of the Jedi.
No,
at the end of A New Hope.
Why can't
I know which one you're talking about? I think it is the one that Cameron's saying because the other one is that one. Yeah,
the Imperial. That's not the Imperial March, is it?
No, it's like the end of the movie.
I forget what it's called. But, okay, that's when they're getting their medals and everything.
Yeah. I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
we can get copyrighted for this.
Yeah, in the chat saying copyright.
Yeah. I just said that before I even saw Moses' message.
Yeah, we're not gonna. Don't worry about it. Anyway, yeah, I think that one was. I think that's
a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. I don't know. It kind of just like they were all looking at each other. And I'm like, this is dope. I don't know. It kind of stuck with me the whole time. And they kind of did it at like the end of episode 1. They did like the same type of thing, the celebration at the end, when they were all standing there. And then it shows like, and then what's his face? Obi-Wan tells Anakin like, I'm going to train you to be a good Jedi or whatever. I don't know. But
the Battle of like the Mustafar battle too, because it shows
sick.
like
I don't know the name of that song.
I don't. It's
yeah, it's like that one's good. Yeah, that one's dope. We're gonna go into some silly ones.
Boy. Silly disagrees.
Silly disagree. Yeah. You guys ready?
Yes.
Ewoks would totally beat the Jawas in a street fight.
Ewoks would beat the Jawas?
in a street fight.
Come on. Wait.
Wait. So Jawas are the.
Are we talking?
Jawas are the sand people.
Yes, no. I know we know what they are, but like.
Now just explain to our audience, dude.
Okay.
So Jawas, for people watching, Jawas are the little sand people, yeah. And then the Ewoks are the crazy little bears.
So, Austin said where, but also
where? That's a big question.
Do they have all their little tools, trinkets, weapons, stuff like that, or is it just hand?
Yeah, fully loaded, both sides.
Fully loaded. Ooh.
But where are they fighting?
Who's got home turf?
It honestly, whoever has home turf is really it's like
really important. Or is there just a mutual?
Let's just say they're fighting in a Costco parking lot.
The Coliseum. The Coliseum.
They're going
on
at
Genosis.
each other.
The Coliseum on Genosis.
The Coliseum in Genosis. Is it dark? Is it dark or is it daylight?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it nighttime or is it daytime?
Okay, hear me out. Okay.
If anyone has ever played Ewok Hunt from Battlefront 2, you understand what I'm talking about.
Terrifying.
No, yes. I think you put it. Okay, let's say this. It's in the desert. Okay, but there's a forest.
Yeah,
in the desert.
So sand,
and trees. it's sunset.
Sand with trees, and it's sunset.
And
the Jawas don't have like big vehicles, do they? Or they do. They have that big. They have that
big one. That's where they.
Yeah. It's just like a.
Yeah, they don't
like a repo vehicle.
They have little windows they can open, but
right.
Like,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the battlefield. The battlefield.
Ewoks would always win.
Would totally beat the Jawas in a street fight.
Okay.
Thought I knew my answer, but.
Well, it's a street fight. Dude. Let's just say it's the middle of the fucking street, dude. It's in
Costco
Spider-Man
parking lot.
Yeah, it's Costco parking lot. Okay, it's in the Costco parking lot.
Yep.
Who would win in a fight?
Still right before nighttime.
Right before nighttime.
Okay.
There's a couple trees.
Yeah.
Oh, this is hard.
I have my answer. Like the timing and there's some trees. Yeah,
okay.
good.
There's some trees.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Yeah, you have to give it to the Ewoks. I don't see the Jawas like.
I almost disagreed because Jawas have like those shotguns,
right?
Those like scatter blaster things. So I'm like, but that's it. That's all
they were in the Boba Fett show.
Yeah,
right.
Well, they were in a lot of stuff, but yeah.
But
I mean, I think we saw the best of them in the Boba Fett show, right? When he gets taken in by them.
Mando has a pretty good fight with them too, and he gets kind of beat by them.
Yeah.
They have like scatter blasters. They have like electrocuting stuff. I
still think it's Ewoks.
I still think Ewoks win, but
I think Ewoks win because they're short. Mm-hmm. I thought Jawas were all short, but I don't think so.
No, Jawas are all short. They're all small.
Wasn't there some taller ones in the Boba? Were they all short?
So.
Okay,
yeah.
Maybe I'm just thinking desert people.
Bro, if it's right before nighttime,
probably the Tusken Raiders.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking of. Oh yeah, never mind. That's what I was thinking of the whole time.
Are gonna get smoked. But if it's the Raiders versus
Tusken Raiders. Tusken Raiders were a military group. Sorry.
If it's just before nighttime, you know the Ewoks are just gonna wait.
Yeah.
They're just gonna wait like however long until the sun sets.
They're gonna hide. They're gonna hide in the trees and just be like, "Oh yeah, this is."
And then you're gonna hear 55 horns out of nowhere.
This is it, yeah. Shoot.
I mean, if we're talking like weapons,
I still think I give it to Ewoks, bro.
Bro, they're crazy.
Don't they have like slingshots?
They have slingshots and rocks and like spears, but
game over, dude. A rock to the head. Just from this level too, from the ground level, just
yeah. I think there's.
I'll give it to the Ewoks.
I think there's more Ewoks in numbers compared to Jawas too. Like,
yeah.
I think that plays a bit. I don't know. It might be close, but I mean, if they were at the same amount, I still think Ewoks probably take it, especially if there's some trees.
I need a fact checked on that, dude.
They're not even gonna see it. Their hood's gonna be blocking the rocks, and it's just
gonna come from their chins, bro. They're gonna get I need a size comparison.
Ewoks might have it.
Yeah, I think Ewoks have it. This one is another one, but it's Yoda was actually trolling Luke the whole time on the Dagobah system.
Dagobah?
On Dagobah.
He was trolling him?
What do you mean?
He was trolling him the whole time. As in, he could move around still. He wasn't all like,
He's just like, carry me.
Yeah, he was like, carry me around, do all this stuff. And like, the real training didn't start till he had the nightmare. Or whatever, the vision.
His vision.
But didn't he go somewhere to have that vision, though?
I think it was still in Dagobah.
I know it was Dagobah, but it was like it wasn't when he was just like laying down, right? It was like didn't he have to like walk somewhere?
He was like deep in the caves or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Shoot. I don't have my card.
Disagree, Cameron? I think he was trolling him the whole time. I think Yoda was just tired. After the Palpatine fight, I think he just didn't care anymore.
Well, yeah, he didn't care anymore, but I don't think he's just physically able to do that stuff anymore. I don't think he we've seen a good example of this with a lot of characters is they kind of disconnect from the Force in a way to hide themselves. Grogu did it. So I think Yoda in this Dagobah system, he's cut himself off from the Force. Obviously, he's so powerful that like when he lifts Luke's X-Wing out of the water, he still can. But I think he's just disconnected himself from such a way from the Force where I think he just physically is just not. He's not about it anymore.
I think he's not about it. And he's like, I'm gonna take advantage of this.
I'm gonna take advantage 100%. I think he 100%
like,
took advantage of Luke.
This kid ain't got no Force abilities.
Did Luke cook him food? Didn't he eat Luke's food?
He was eating Luke's food. He was on the back just grubbing.
Yeah, come on.
He was like, hey, get out of there.
Literally, I knew from the moment he lost to Palpatine,
smacking R2D2 with his cane.
First of all, I also think he actually won that fight against Palpatine. I don't think he lost. He kind of I just rewatched the 20th anniversary or whatever. I'm like, you didn't lose. Like, you know, he just
he didn't. He
lose. Dipped out. But like once he sat in the chair and was like, yeah, I need to go. I lost. I gotta go retreat. I'm like, damn. Like you fuck Obi-Wan. You know, just like completely disappeared, but whatever. This should be a no-brainer. Most controversial agree or disagree question in Star Wars, probably. Han shot first. No question.
Okay.
3, 2,
No, this
1.
is a lose-lose. This isn't okay.
He saw Karen and he agrees like, okay,
it's Han Solo.
Han
shot first.
Han shot first.
Like Greedo I get the whole self-defense thing. No, he shot about it. He shot first, dude.
He wasn't going to let Greedo touch his blaster.
Facts.
No, yeah. Jar Jar Binks is misunderstood and deserves more respect.
Wait, is this for the memes? Is that like...
Come on.
Are we incorporating theories into this or no?
Yeah, we're incorporating everything. Jar Jar Binks is the most misunderstood, or not the most, but is misunderstood and deserves more respect. 3,
Can I put
2,
both?
1.
What answer?
You got to. You have to. Agree and disagree. Why do you agree and disagree?
Are we like, if you bring the theories into it, he's
Jar Jar, bro. You think
he's a Sith Lord. If you don't, he's kind of dumb. Not kind of, like extremely.
Dude,
dumb.
I don't know.
Him playing dumb is all part of the act.
That's what I'm saying.
I just don't think he's misunderstood. I think he's stupid.
That's who he is. Yeah,
I think he's stupid.
Can't be stupid though, because he made the freaking. He was part of like the political class, and
that's hella stupid. Gave Palpatine all the power.
Oh, he didn't know.
He's stupid.
Or not stupid because it was all part of his plan.
Cameron, you're supposed to be on my side. You disagreed. Like
I don't even know anymore.
I think if we're playing into the theories, this dude had a master plan the whole time, and we still don't know about it because he's lurking in the shadows.
Didn't
like in the books or whatever he like, or in between novels for the movies, didn't he? Wasn't it confirmed that he was like put out on the streets after everything happened, and he was like a lot of people hated him?
I wouldn't be surprised. I
wouldn't.
I'm almost 100%. I feel that would happen in some sort of. I don't think it's a fan fiction or anything. I think it's actually like
that would have happened with anyone in that like political power that was
right.
under.
Yeah, it just sucks that it's Jar Jar.
They got finessed. Yeah.
Chewbacca is the real brains of the Millennium Falcon. Go for
it. What would have happened? Because no, Padme wasn't really a part of that. She wasn't involved in all that, really.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, if you saw the deleted scenes and stuff too from Episode 3, they show them meeting like the people that don't believe. I'm not gonna call them the rebellion yet because there was no rebellion, but it was like the early signs of the rebellion. It had Mon Mothma there. It had Padme. It had Senator, what's his face? Who took Padme's child? Senator Organa.
Mm-hmm.
Organa's dad.
I had like three of those, like 3 more people, and like they're meaning how if this happens, like, you know, like Palpatine will have full control and stuff.
Right.
Please talk about the goat Hayden and how he was disowned for so long and now he's beloved. We will. And then I guess like we'll just go to the last one. If the Force was real, would you be a Sith purely on the aesthetic alone?
I have no shame.
I'm gonna say disagree.
I disagree.
Because
guys, come on.
Listen, I get it. But Anakin looked sick when he just had the robe on.
His black,
you know, before
dude.
Yeah, like
clean.
Before he had that stuff on, I think the Clone Wars armor was way better.
Yeah.
I think in the Acolyte they showed the Jedi robes were sick in the Acolyte. I thought it was kind of fresh. It wasn't my color. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't.
You were meant to believe
it
that,
wouldn't
like,
be great on me.
They had to be a certain style or color, but throughout the years we've gotten all these new projects. Like they've been so many different ones where they're like, oh yeah, I guess you could just kind of wear what you want in a way, like customize it.
Like I remember in the Ahsoka show when Hayden was retrying on the armor, there was like an interview of Dave Filoni talking to him, and he's like, the armor you're wearing, it's like, just imagine like you found it. It's like old Jedi armor that they used to wear. And like, that's why it has like battle scars and all this stuff. And he's like, just treat it like that. And I thought that was dope. I was like, oh shit, the Jedi always had cool stuff. But I get episode 1 and 2, it's a little different. But yeah, episode 3, Anakin, come on.
A lot of the Jedi had some aura.
Hello there. Yeah, come on, dude.
The Sith had that drip though, bro. The Sith had that drip. That red.
They just had the hoods a little bit more covered than them. They just had the robes were just a little bit more covered on their eyes.
I'm including also the yellow contacts, bro.
Oh my god. The Sith
drip.
eyes.
Drip.
You just want the Sith eyes.
Oh
I get it. Okay.
Not all of them had Sith eyes though.
Only the extreme Sith.
Yeah, only the
too far gones.
The too far gones, yeah.
Anakin.
Didn't most of them have Sith eyes?
Darth Maul.
Uh-huh.
Anakin.
Plagueis. Not Plagueis, sorry. Plagueis did.
Plagueis
in
Palpatine does.
Palpatine.
After.
Asajj Ventress.
Grievous. Well, that might be just his.
I think he just had weird.
He was just trained. He wasn't a Sith.
Eyes. No,
he wasn't a Sith. He was trained in. He trained in
the
Sith.
Jedi arts.
Yeah, but like, what's his face? The old dude, Sidious didn't have it.
Yeah, that's true.
No, Palpatine.
Not Sidious. Sorry, not Sidious. The old dude.
Dooku.
Count Dooku didn't have
but
it. I was thinking Tyrannus.
Which they've said Dooku was. I forget how they say it in the movies. He wasn't like fully Sith bad, but he was. I don't know. They describe it in a weird way.
That's why he took that.
Kind of like the Sith side of Mace Windu, I guess. A little bit.
Not Dooku.
Like Balin Scroll, he didn't have Sith eyes. Like not all Sith have them.
They had drip.
They had drip.
Did Jar Jar Binks have Sith eyes? Jar Jar Binks, do you have Sith eyes?
Jar Jar Binks does.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like, if we're picking between
Rey
the two
did
aesthetics,
did when she had her little Sith mode.
Inner vision, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sith mode, that was kind of fresh, but
Kylo didn't though, and he was
Kylo's drip, dude. Come on.
I mean,
Kylo's mask was cool.
His mask was cool, but like that, whatever that was, that like cashmere sweater thing he was wearing.
Fresh.
Austin just wants an excuse for fucking space tantrums.
Being bad.
He was like,
fresh.
When he turned around and his shirt was off, he's all, "Look at me, Rey."
Fresh.
The all black. I'm wearing gray right now, but listen, I wear all black constantly. I'm get it.
Wearing Jedi
I get it.
And I'm still.
I just think you could still do it with Jedi and without falling into the Sith. That's just me.
I'm sorry, but
yeah,
this will be another question. But Mandalorians have the best drip.
Mandalorians do have drip. I think if we're adding them to the conversation,
no way. Clone Wars armored Jedi, done deal. Nothing's better than it. Tell me, Anakin in fucking the Jedi battle armor? Come on, dude. During the Clone Wars? Come on,
dude. But there's some Mando.
During Ahsoka? Come on.
Sick armor, dude.
No, dude. They're just a bunch of weenies. That's why their planet blew up.
Oh my god.
Okay. So now we're just gonna. That's like the end of our agree and disagree ones. I hope you guys kind of liked it. I know I surprised you too with it, but
that was good.
Yeah, thanks, man. I try a little bit. But yeah, we're just kind of continue to go into it. Kylo is a goof and can't even bleed a crystal, bro.
Not a lot of people bleed a crystal, bro.
How do you know he didn't bleed a crystal?
I mean, he did have a red lightsaber.
Yeah, he could have. They didn't say anything about it.
He probably did bleed a crystal.
He might have. He had a. What, did he have a green lightsaber before that?
Yeah.
Didn't they kind of like explain that? Like that's why his blade kind of does it's like unstable.
That's why it does that. Yeah. He said it's unstable.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think the crystal that he had was broken, which it could have broke from bleeding. You never know.
Okay, so what is whoever wants to go first? I don't really care. But what is your earliest Star Wars memory, and what made you fall in love with the galaxy far, far away? When you two go first.
Austin, you want to go first, or you want me to?
I have like a serious one and then a funny one also.
Yeah, go for it.
I think that serious note. Actually, that's tough. Well, okay, so I'll say the funny note first because I think it's actually kind of comical because that's what I correlated to. Is I don't know if you guys remember at like pizza shops when they had like the arcade games.
Mm-hmm.
They had the Pod Racer one. Did you guys ever play that one?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
That's like one of my favorite like arcade games because it felt like you were in Star Wars and
you sat in Anakin's
so that's my funny one for sure because I really enjoyed that and it made me like every time I would play it I'd be like I want to go watch the movie now because it's like I felt like I was just doing it. And then I think on a serious note, my earliest Star Wars memory would probably be like watching him with my family and like seeing their love for like the original movies too. And like I think if I remember, my parents had like these little figurines that were like the characters from the original trilogy. And I remember being a kid and playing with those. And then like I was so young that I didn't really understand like who they were, things like that. And then I remember watching the movies and then going back to it and be like, oh, I was playing with whoa, like it like all connected. And then that really just dove like my engagement into the movies for sure. And then watching like Revenge of the Sith when I got old enough to understand, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah. How about you, Cameron?
Earliest I can think of, my grandpa was a huge Star Wars guy. So like I would, I don't know why, that was just always the one I would put on, but I would always put them all on. So that was just always fun. And I remember in his room, I wish I would have been able to read them and like be old enough to read them, but he had probably like 50, 60 Star Wars books of just all stuff that like they've written in that time. Like, and I don't know if he still has them. He might, but I would love to just get my hands on those and read them. And then obviously, when like the prequels were out, I remember having a birthday party and like all my gifts were just Star Wars toys. Like I remember the original packaging, especially for the Attack of the Clones ones. I just remember the wrapping paper was Star Wars. In my room, my grandpa worked at a grocery store in Rio Vista and he was able to snag me a full cutout of Anakin. And I had that in my room for a long time. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, just...
Did he have two hands?
Yeah, it was an Attack of the Clones.
Anakin. I don't know if it was like at the end of the Attack of the Clones or
I think it was. I don't think they had his robot hand in there. I can't really remember, but yeah, that was just my family and just growing up. That's what made me love and fall in love with Star Wars, and yeah.
Okay, sick. Yeah, my earliest memory is kind of similar to yours. I watched. I think it was like the Return of. No, it was Empire Strikes Back. It was the little ship scene where I forget what the ships are called in the snow place.
Oh yeah,
and they're like tying up the AT-ATs. Yeah, well, not the snow speeders, but the actual like
the actual ships.
Yeah. It was like orange and white. Yeah, that one was sick. It was like one of my first Star Wars Lego sets too. But that scene, I just remember it. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world, and I was like, "This is sick." And then I think what made me like really fall in love with Star Wars in general was obviously like the lightsaber scenes. All that stuff is super dope. But when I was like, wow, this is like the most amazing thing ever, I still remember it was like the midnight premiere for Revenge of the Sith. And like I had to go to the bathroom really bad, but then like I still remember which row I was in, which seat I was in. And then everything bad starts happening with Anakin. Like he cuts off Mace Windu's hand. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched that movie. It's been 20 years. But that happened, and I remember like my legs shaking, but not like I had to go to the bathroom, but it was more like I was scared. I was like actually like trembling, and that moment I like it was one of the weirdest movie theater experiences I've had because it's like I was like scared, but I was like sad. I was like emotional, like when like you're super emotional and you start shaking or something, right? And like like I was mad. I was like, why is this happening? I knew already he was turning into Darth Vader, but I was like, why is this happening?
Right.
Yeah, that's probably like my favorite moment, and then like in Star Wars because it made me feel some type of way, and I was just real angry about it. But yeah, we kind of already answered, so we don't have to stay long on this question. But which trilogy is your favorite? Obviously, we have the three of them. Overall, mine is like I said, I like the prequels. I think the prequels were dope. I like the lightsaber scenes, all this stuff. I have more sentiment. Is that agree or oh, you agree with it? Sick. And then Austin, you kind of said already
So here's the thing.
He said, wait.
The question earlier was not which is your favorite.
Can't wait till I put up like a thing. True that. True.
I think that my favorite to like watch is the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I have a ton of respect, and I think that they will always hold a special place in my heart for the original trilogy.
Yeah,
and
like those are like better movies, but
Yeah.
these are your favorite. Okay, I get that.
I feel like I could have that opinion.
Like you like the Yankees, even though they're not the best baseball team.
Right, yeah, totally. They just, always lose. It's what happens.
They're not the best, but they're your favorite. I get it.
Right,
I get it.
Right.
I get that. Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, I really enjoy the original trilogy, but I think that if I was picking like my favorite, like, I think someone mentioned it earlier, like if I'm going to watch a movie, I'm going to watch the prequels.
Cam mentioned it, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that just comes from like, I mean, the CGI, all the effects and stuff, it is better.
Yeah.
And that's the more enjoyable factor to it. But I think that the place in my heart that the original trilogy has, that's why I'd put it in like, it's special. It's like, it's its own thing to me.
I get it. So we kind of all agree on that one. Or we kind of all have the same favorite.
I don't know why Moses is laughing about the Yanks. I don't know what's going on here.
If you could live in one Star Wars era, which would it be? A couple examples are like the Clone Wars, the High Republic era, like the whole original trilogy era as a whole piece, the prequel or the sequel trilogy, the original trilogy. The High Republic is like the beginning, like Acolyte-ish era, which if I'm a Jedi, I would like to live in one.
Yeah, like
but,
what
are you? Like, what are your what's your role?
What's our role?
Austin's a Sith and we're Jedi.
Austin's a Sith and we're Jedi.
Yeah, no, I was joking, Austin.
What planet are we on?
I think it's whatever planet you want. How about,
is that part of the question?
Of course, no. Yeah, where would you live at? Yeah, if any of you guys pick Tatooine, you guys are tripping.
I love sand.
I almost was gonna say Tatooine.
Like during episode 4 or something. Like, doesn't it get blown up?
No, Tatooine doesn't.
Never, really didn't.
Alderaan does.
Alderaan definitely does.
Tatooine gets saved that whole time.
I think Tatooine's fine the whole time. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, because Mando was on Tatooine for a little bit, and that was after the events.
Yeah.
That's a hard question because
even in the sequel trilogy, Tatooine's still alive.
That's where Rey was.
Are you right? That's weird. Tatooine, huh? Yeah, because she places the lightsaber in the sand. Stupid.
Where she declares herself a Skywalker.
Oh, greatest Star Wars moment.
I want to say Clone Wars, but if I'm a Jedi, I'm kind of setting myself up to die. But I don't have to die. I could have survived. I'm gonna say Clone Wars. I would have lived in the Clone Wars. At least for a little bit. There was a decent while there where there was...
You're like, just not episode 3.
Just not episode 3. Everything before that,
I would probably say, like, I don't know much about it, but so far, just from what I've seen from, like, the Acolyte, I guess, being a Jedi during, like, the High Republic thing kind of looked fresh. Like...
I guess because Jedi were seen as a very high authority and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Austin?
Probably going to say High Republic too. I just think that era. I mean, there's so many like.
Was that the High Republic era? I believe so.
Yeah, like acolyte timing is what you're saying, right? Like
Yeah.
before the fall, like everything, like
Yeah.
Wait, so what era? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Awesome.
probably then. I mean, I could say Alderaan whenever it gets blown up. Why not? Just for
Well, like
funsies.
according to the torpedo head dude, it was like it was like 5 years or 5,000 years, 500 years, like before Sith was even around. According to him. Yeah, I'm taking that area, dude. Just chilling. Who am I gonna fight? Not Sith people.
Jedi were literally just going to planets, checking them out. Like, oh, look at this.
Me.
Force sensitive.
Give me some blue milk. Call it a day, dude.
Right.
Would you say is like, I don't know, the era like right after the Return of the Jedi, way before all the First Order stuff?
Mandoverse era.
Mandoverse era.
Yeah,
the era that we're watching kind of right now.
I feel like that'd be kind of fresh.
That would be pretty cool.
Because like,
be
the New Republic just started. Obviously, there's pirates and stuff like that.
Right.
But if you're on if you're on an okay planet, you're fine.
Yeah, but everything's like so messed up.
Right. It's chaotic.
Chaotic. I mean, at least from my knowledge, there wasn't planets that were like just blown up by like a moon or like a moon base. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about like Death Star.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like they're like, oh, is that a moon? No, it's a weapon.
I also feel like this is kind of like a thriller aspect or like a thriller like mindset. Like, what if you were a Jedi after the fall and like you're in that Cal Kestis era where you're like,
you're just on the
fuck no, hell no. What am I supposed to go do? Work on if I'm a Jedi, I can't even use my powers because Darth Vader will feel it, and I'd be like, go attack him, and then he'll get the ninth sister on me.
Yeah.
Look how hard it was for Obi-Wan.
You want to be hunted down by the ninth sister?
Any of the sisters or brothers?
Kestis, bro, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, but the ninth sister
she's weak. She was weak though, for real. She wasn't the strongest.
She was the Hulk in Star Wars.
The Hulk, for sure.
She looked like a Hulk with a lightsaber, dude.
And it was like one of those. It was the circle one,
the spinny blade ones.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I'm saying because I think it's cool their storyline of like how they're trying to help with like the connecting all of the Jedi still. I think that aspect of it's cool, like the secret to it. I don't know. That's just what I'm implying to. I think it would be terrible because you're running for your life. At the same time, I think it would be kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm still picking High Republic, probably.
Yeah, 100%. What's the era where they had horses? Was that the High Republic era as well? Didn't like Jedi
it was
like ride horses back in the day?
Definitely before a lot of.
Might be thinking about the books, but
it's way before the technology that there is now.
Yeah, if I remember, there's gonna be a Jedi on a horse right here in my hand. By the time you guys watch this, not live on YouTube. Okay, cool. We'll kind of go into like the lore and the force of everything, right? But before we do that, I did want to go into like just one little topic about more about the movies. But which Star Wars movie deserves more love, and which one is overrated?
Honestly, a couple.
I think The Last Jedi should get more love.
I think so too.
It's a good movie. I think it has a really good story. Kind of shows what Star Wars like is all about. How like you have the force sensitive children at the end and stuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like the dude with he's just clean up the brim. He's like, oh, boom, and kind of related to like the video games, the stories, like all this stuff. Instead of just being like, oh no, there is no more like, and you kind of got a hint of that in what was it, Rise of Skywalker. But Mace Windu is still alive.
Yeah.
I'm saying the movie that needs the most love because it never gets talked about is Solo.
Stupid.
No.
Not this again.
No. I really.
Are you serious?
I love that movie.
Solo?
There was nothing good about that movie.
There's a lot of good things about that movie.
Name 3. And without saying the ending of who comes out in the end.
That literally made the whole movie for me. That part.
Honestly, I thought it was dope. They should have gone into it more, but they're not going to. I mean, maybe in the Darth Maul show they might, but
I don't know. I liked seeing an early on story of Han Solo. I liked that we finally got to see how him and Chewie met. I thought Emilia Clarke in that movie was a great character.
Like she did a good job, or like her character was good?
I thought her character was good.
Character was a treacherous spy. She's just evil.
Dude, Amelia Clark
She
has
was,
been dealt
spoiler alert, but
Paul
she's
Bettany.
evil.
I didn't like Paul Bettany in that movie.
Yeah, me either.
But I don't know. I enjoyed that movie. That's my answer. I was saying that I think that movie needs more love.
Muzz just said Finn should have been the Jedi, not Rey. He went 1v1 with Kylo in episode 7. You know what? That is one thing I won't forgive the sequel trilogy for doing, especially for episode 7.
Yeah.
They teased like he was going to be the new Jedi and stuff from the very beginning. From the trailers, they didn't even really... They mentioned Rey a little bit, but I just thought it was going to be like a girl interest. I have no problem with Rey being the character. I actually like Rey a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like her that much in the last one, but in the Rise of Skywalker, like I'm like, okay, there's parts I did like about that movie. Don't get me wrong; it's like not the worst thing Star Wars has done, but I think it should have. I think Finn would have been great, or just have Finn like he just became such a side character especially in Rise of Skywalker, like such a freaking
I thought
side
you liked
character.
the side quest.
No, as in side character, like he wasn't important anymore. I like him, but I would have loved like imagine like a mission. I think this was like the written details they were supposed to do, or like written storyline they were going to do, where it's like him and Poe were supposed to go on a mission, and then Rey was supposed to go on a mission with someone else, all this stuff, and like that would have been sick. I would have loved to see him and Poe together a lot more.
That definitely would have been better than what him and Rose did.
Yeah, we just didn't I personally don't think we got enough of it, and like then you could tell like they were playing around like he liked Rey. But then he met that other girl, but he wanted to tell Rey that he was like force sensitive or something, which I think that's what he wanted to tell her. I don't know if it was ever confirmed or not, but I think that's what
they hinted they hinted at his force ability way too much to not like introduce it, which is stupid.
Even in episode 7, like he had he had the feeling like something was happening. Like I'm is this dude force sensitive? And like Moses said, he did go 1-on-1 with a trained Sith Jedi, whatever, in Kylo Ren, and he did work. Like he did work. Who sliced up Rey's or Kylo Ren's face? Was it Rey or was it Finn?
It was Rey.
Okay, he didn't do that much work, but he still put up. Like, come on, he never held a lightsaber before. If I hold a lightsaber for the first time, there's a good chance I'm gonna get cut off my own hand.
I forgot what project it was, but they literally said like untrained people who have never touched or held a lightsaber would literally just cut all their limbs off.
That's what I'm saying.
Like I forgot where they said that, but I remember hearing that before. But Finn kind of was just like pretty good with it.
Yeah, Austin, do you know which one is like deserves more love or which one's overrated?
I know it's a pretty popular movie, but I think that I'll always be a firm believer that Rogue One needs a little bit more love.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best projects they've done. In all honesty, it was, especially with how it like correlates in, like I've seen some of Andor, and I think that the correlation to it, I mean, what's going to happen, but I still think that Rogue One needs a lot more love than, it gets. I think that a lot of people just think of it as like one of those middle movies because it's not a part of one of those trilogies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's why
Rogue One was probably one of the best Star Wars. Yeah.
Right. And it's like, at the end of the day, I think that movie could always get the push to be like, show it more love. Because if you watch that, it
had one of the best Darth Vader scenes ever.
Exactly. Like,
I was almost going to say Rogue One too, but I was like actually ever since Andor came out, I think a lot more people have realized Rogue One is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And they've realized the importance of it.
Right.
But yeah, it for sure needs a lot more love.
Well, so someone just said, will Grogu be half Jedi, half Mandalorian? No, because he denied the Jedi ways. Yeah, he denied Luke and was like, nah, fam. And that's probably why Luke was so angry at Kylo, dude. It's probably like, yeah, there's Grogu right there, Austin.
I need him in like a Mando drip.
Yeah, I mean, Jedi can't, like I remember
they can't commit to both or whatever.
And I remember in that episode, Ahsoka was talking to Luke, like, Jedi just aren't, not necessarily allowed, but that emotional connection with someone, like, Anakin had with Padme, Grogu has with Din Djarin. Like, that's what could literally drive a Jedi to the Sith side.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
No, yeah. Cool. And then just a couple more questions, but a real big one is to you guys. What makes Darth Vader the greatest villain of all time? And do you guys think he's the greatest villain of all time? I guess first you could answer the second part of that question. Do you think he's the greatest villain of all time?
Like in any movie?
Time.
Just in general. Yeah.
I don't really see another villain that is greater than that.
No, I don't think as much damage as he did.
I mean,
I don't think so.
Anyone that comes close as far as being a villain is Thanos, but I think Darth Vader is way greater than that.
Yeah. I mean, Thanos wiped out half the universe, don't get me wrong, but he did it for like a good purpose. Vader just did it just to fucking do it.
Vader just did it. Yeah. It's got to be greatest villain of all time, Vader for sure.
After episode 3, he had no reason anymore. Like when he was talking to Padme, saying like, "Me and you can control the universe together," and was sounding all crazy and stuff. At least he had a vision, you know.
I mean,
like we could raise a family, do all this stuff.
Killed his wife. I mean, she died giving birth, but Anakin
of a broken heart.
But he freaking choked her with the being pregnant. Like, nah, Vader was on some demon time for sure.
Yeah. I agree. I think who's your favorite non-Force user in the entire franchise?
Non-Force user?
Din Djarin, Mandalorian.
Shoot.
Hands down, 100%.
You know what? I'm going to say it's probably Din Djarin, but I'm giving R2 the respect he deserves, bro.
R2.
I didn't even think about that.
That's good.
R2 deserves some respect,
dude,
dog.
That's a good answer.
He's been through it all.
Dude,
I would also say R2. I was gonna say Poe. I really like Poe.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was dope. I think his connection, like what's her face, Senator Organa. What's her name? Leia. Jesus Christ, had dreads.
He'd shake him.
Yeah, Leia. I think their connection, their little dispute on the ship before she got blown up in space and then came back.
No, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, I thought that was dope. What do you mean don't talk about it? Wait.
Force and space. No.
What? You didn't like that?
No.
Dude, that was so dope. It shows Jedis using other powers like they did in episode 1. Episode 1, they had super speed.
I like force healing.
That's about it. Force healing? You're telling me you could force heal, but you can't? Come on, dude.
Swim through space. I can't swim.
That part was good. I love that part in The Last Jedi.
Personally, I think... I don't know, actually. I feel like she should have just died right then and there.
That in real life right then.
R.I.P. Carrie Fisher. Damn, but I think Leia in that moment should have...
I'm glad she wasn't in... like... Dang, Cameron. Okay. All right. Well, I guess not, dude. I wish we got more of her younger version somewhere in the franchise.
Dude, the flashback of her and Luke training together, that was sick.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we would have seen more of that. Like, that was
takes off her little helmet thing. I'm like, dope.
Like, that was super sick.
Is Star Wars better as movies or as a series? Obviously, you guys haven't watched Andor. Have you guys watched Andor season 1?
Heard of it. Not all of it. Or I have, but I didn't like...
Well, then I guess we're going to... I mean, we could put Clone Wars versus... No, okay, I would say that then the movies are just going to be it. Because I don't think Mando's better than all the Star Wars movies.
You think it's better than some, though, right?
Season 1 and Season 2, yeah. Season 3, no.
Their track
Season 3,
record
I think the movies are better.
Their track record right now, I'm saying they're doing a better job with series than movies.
Well, we have... Yeah, right now, obviously, I've watched...
Clone Wars. Well,
watched Clone Wars.
Rebels, great. Rebels
Dude,
great. Chopper from Rebels? Come on.
Yeah, it's great. I've watched every piece of television so far. I think Andor is really, really great. You guys need to watch Andor. I think Season 1 is better than Season 2, but I think it's great. Ahsoka Season 1 was dope. To me, it was a continuation to Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like, what's next in Star Wars? We have Ahsoka Season 2.
We have Mando and Grogu movie.
The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Also, Season 4, I think we're getting of that as well. I think. I know
it
we're
might
getting
just be the movie.
But I can't remember if they confirmed a Season 4 as well. And then we're
getting Star Wars, the Starfighter movie with Sean Levi and Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
We're getting the Jedi New Order movie, which is going to be Daisy Ridley. It's like set 15 years after the rise of Skywalker, and the film follows Rey as she like makes a new Jedi Order.
Darth Maul series.
We're getting the Darth Maul series, which is coming out soon. Sam Witwer as Maul, who he played Maul in the Clone Wars. He played Maul in Rebels. He played Starkiller in the old video games.
Yep.
Like that was actually his face being rendered for it. We got a couple other movies. We have the prequel movie, the High Republic era movie. Like it's supposed to be like way before like with the first Jedi and stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna get that, which I'm excited about that a lot.
Same.
And so yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming up. They're not gonna do obviously Andor season 3. Spoiler alert: Andor season 2 leads to Rogue One. Yeah. Obviously, you see what happens in Rogue One. So
what happens? Well,
great movie. Go watch it. Before like we finish, or before I ask you the last question, I do have one more like little debate question. Lightsaber battles: prequels versus sequels versus originals versus TV shows. Who wins? I think if we have the Acolyte Sith dude, I forgot his name, and it's a real bummer that I can't remember it. That guy.
Didn't we kind of answer this question earlier when we were doing agree disagree?
Sort of, but who would win in a fight? Like as in like who would actually win? Like think about like
so
who's the best.
We're taking a character.
Yeah, the character from
okay.
Like who would win in a lightsaber battle?
Okay, so are we taking a character from each of these things?
Take a character from each of your like your favorite fight scenes. So I'm gonna take like can I take 2 characters from one fight?
So what are you gonna take, Anakin and Obi-Wan?
Yeah, Anakin and Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith.
Okay,
it'll be like it's like Battlefront 2, the heroes versus the villains thing. Who would win?
Yeah,
it's pretty much the same question.
Okay,
that's where I kind of got it from. But them two
sequels.
Those are the only Jedi I would give it to. I wouldn't get like maybe Yoda. I wouldn't put Qui-Gon in there because Qui-Gon got owned.
Yeah, I mean sequels like you can only choose Rey and Kylo Ren.
Yeah, doggy.
True that.
And they're getting owned by Anakin and Obi-Wan. Originals, I'd put Luke and I don't know.
Luke versus Anakin. Prime Anakin versus Prime Luke. Who wins in a fight? Make this question a lot easier for you guys. Who's the chosen one? Like, if you want to keep doing that, like.
I mean, Anakin's the chosen one. Prophecy said so, but.
Yeah. Do you? Okay, well then sidetrack. Then, do you think Anakin is still the chosen one, or do you think like the sequel trilogy kind of rewrote prophecy?
No, I think he's still the chosen one.
So I agree with you guys. I think he brought balance to the Force. Obviously, that doesn't mean ending the Sith. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he killed Palpatine the first time.
Right.
I honestly think, which I kind of hope we get more of it, but when we see Anakin and Ahsoka, the series, and that space between the living and where he is in the Force, I have a theory that like it's him there necessarily not holding it all together, but I think he's there because he's the chosen one, and then that's kind of like I know
he's like Loki holding the tree.
He's like the Loki basically. Yeah.
Right.
That's a theory. Like I kind of want them to see because we've seen a lot of Force ghosts, and we've seen the Force ghosts come to.
The only argument I can make towards Anakin not being the chosen one, I still think he is, but the only argument I could think of would be Rey versus Palpatine at the end, and all the Jedi are like talking to her. Mm-hmm. Like, you could do it, you got this, whatever words were said, I gotta remember it. But that's like the only argument I could say, like, she might be the chosen one. Like, I'm not gonna hate on people that don't agree with it. I just think I think Anakin's the chosen one without a doubt.
Right.
100%.
But I could see Rey being in that conversation more than Luke. Is that a hot take? That might be a hot take, guys.
That might be a hot take.
I know you don't like Luke, but Luke is extremely
No. I like Luke. He's like I like him and Mando. Come on, dude.
Luke, dude.
Luke was barely
him crushing the Dark Trooper.
Yeah,
when he was like, I was like, dope. He doesn't need a lightsaber.
Like before Luke was even like fully trained as a Jedi. Like he destroyed helped destroy the first Death Star.
Yeah,
using the Force.
No disrespect for him. I think he's I think he'll whoop Rey in a fight if they had 1v1s.
Right.
Easily. I think Anakin would beat Rey, but I think there is a good chance that like Rey could be in the potential. Like I would vote for her more than I would vote for Luke for being like run up to the chosen one, just because of what she actually does. Like Luke didn't do anything. He brought his dad back a little bit, but he didn't do anything.
Paige brought up a good point. She said,
I see it in the
Luke
chat.
uses his words versus skills. But I mean, you do see him use his skills really good in Mando when he's taking the Dark Troopers.
Yes, yeah.
Like that Luke right there, yes.
I agree.
But Anakin,
watch Rey in the sequel trilogy just be badass.
Like I was gonna say that I'm like in this movie we're getting where she's like 15 years, like who knows how she's gonna be.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Okay, cool. Then just to finish it off real quick, if you could create a brand new Star Wars show, what would it be about? Mine would be like, I like the concept of the Acolyte, what I originally thought they were going to go do, which were like the beginning of Star Wars, like beginning of the Jedi, all that stuff. I love that. I want them to focus on that. And I think that would be legit.
I have my answer. I'm just researching because I forgot her name. Austin, do you have yours?
I mean, yeah, I'm on the same boat. Like, I want to see before everything. Like, that would be super sick. I think the Acolyte kind of gave us a visual, but I think that there's so much more that could be shown. I'm probably saying, like, a High Republic, you know, way before.
I think that's what a lot of us want to see.
Darth Plagueis show. That would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they hinted at it.
Bounty Hunter show.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter show would be sick.
Legit one, not the Boba Fett one, which I thought the Boba Fett one was going to be amazing.
Super sick. I'll be a little bit different. I remember how I brought up my grandpa, how he had all those books. I remember one book in particular. I think a show of Luke had a huge love interest in the Star Wars universe. Her name was Mara Jade. So that's like, it's a very important thing in the whole story. So I think it'd be cool getting kind of
in the books,
a show about just, obviously we see, before we've gotten Mando and all that, we saw Luke and then Return of the Jedi, and then we got Luke in The Last Jedi. And you just see him, old man, sipping milk out of whatever those things are.
It was dope when he foreshadowed him going
that
against the Empire.
Yeah.
I was like,
but I think it'd be cool. I just want more, like, they did a really good job.
More Luke, like early CGI, Luke stuff.
Yeah.
You want Sebastian Stan to be the young Luke Skywalker?
That'd be sick. I remember
he said he's down for it.
I remember people fan casted that. I'm like, oh,
both of them I think said they were down for that. Like both of them, like I think Mark Hamill was like, yeah, that would be great.
That'd be super cool.
I mean, how they did him in live action for Ahsoka or Mandalorian season 3.
So the first one was Mandalorian season 2.
Season 2, that was season finale.
It was okay. It was good. It was good for. It was cool.
Time. Well, you barely saw him. You didn't hear him talk
in
that much.
His episode of Book of Boba Fett.
Was it Book of Boba Fett?
It looked fantastic.
Right.
Yeah, when he's like sitting down. No, well, the one where he's sitting down with Grogu, was that Book of Boba Fett?
That was Book of Boba. So because Mando got like 2 episodes. That was about the Mandalorian.
The best episodes of Book of Boba Fett.
Yes, and that was of kind of Grogu's training with Luke.
Right.
Yeah, that he was solid.
Yeah,
I thought he looked great. I would watch a show like that. I mean, I get it, the CGI, but I mean, you could have like someone like Sebastian Stan or someone even younger, play him. Dude, like we got someone different for Han Solo.
Yeah,
and I did like that part. That's actually one thing I liked. I liked how we got what's his face as a young
Lando.
What's his name?
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. Childish
Gambino. Yeah. I mean, that guy that kind of looks like Childish Gambino.
Yeah. I think a Knights of Ren show would be pretty
that would
cool
be
too.
sick.
Oh, I wanted them to be way more involved.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I read like there was like comic books like up to the movie, and I read those, and they were talking about the Knights of Ren and like how they all had different weapons and stuff, and like I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so sick, and then it didn't have it in the movies. I was like, what's going on?
We just saw,
and they showed that scene when they were all standing on the ship.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, they're about to go ham, and nothing happened. I don't remember anything, but
I know it's not like a new project because there's something off of it, but I'd like to see the Cal Kestis story be put onto a series. I know.
Yeah, I think that's one of the greatest stories of
so
Star
good.
Wars.
Like,
I know it's not technically canon, but
it's gonna be eventually. I think
he's probably gonna be in Ahsoka season 2.
Yeah,
we have a character that could play him.
That'd be fresh.
We have a person that can play him.
Yeah,
we have a person that can play him. So Yeah, I'm excited about that. But yeah, Mark Hamill came out yesterday saying he's done playing Luke. Yeah, he's too old to play Luke. He's dead anyway. But yeah, I think that's about it, guys. I think that was a good little Star Wars discussion.
Yeah, that was good.
Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm punting. We got a couple different non-Marvel Disney stuff, but coming up soon. And any suggestions you guys want us to talk about? Put it in the comments on the YouTube. You can find us at the Hero Brew. Awesome. Where can we find you at, actually, first?
You can find me on Instagram at AustinCoil23, as you can see down below. On Twitter, you can find me at AustinCoil.
Cameron.
I was gonna say I couldn't see my freaking name, but it's because of my white shirt.
You're wearing a white tee, dude.
Yeah, right there.
I was like, wait a minute.
IG Cameron2428, X, formerly known as Twitter, Oglesby2428. And then, follow us on all of our Hero Brew Podcast stuff.
Yeah, you can find me, Max Ericat, on all social media sites. And then follow us on the Hero Brew Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and then you can find us on X. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for brewing.
Of course, thanks for brewing, guys.
Yes, sir. Peace.